So, want to go ahead and get started, Abby? We've got quorum.
Sure.
It's 5:30. So I don't know if you want to do introductions first. We understand that Christina Stewart, our newest member of the Workforce Housing Committee, has joined us. So we certainly want to welcome you, Christina. I'm Mike Slavish, chair of the committee. By default, I was voted into this role because I didn't show up for one of my meetings. So that's what happens if you don't show up.
Okay.
So, Abby, I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to say.
Let's have everybody else on the call also introduce themselves, and then we can give Christina an opportunity. And if it's okay, I'll just call on everybody because it's always awkward because the Zoom layout isn't the same on everyone's screen.
Right.
So let's go to Darren.
Christina, my name is Darren Fortney. I'm the guy that made sure Mike was the chair because I'm the vice chair. So if we didn't get him on, then I would have had it. So I've been on the committee for about a year and a half. I've lived in Middleton for about 17 years, and my profession, not here, is I'm an urban planner for SEH, a consulting firm here in Madison.
Okay, let's go to Rob Bergenthal.
Hi, Christina. My name is Rob Bergenthal. I'm Middleton resident for about 15 or 16 years and been on the committee for, Abby, you can help me out. I know it's been really long, probably about 8-9 years. And I've been in commercial real estate.
Betsy Day.
Hi, my name's Betsy Day, and I'm have been a resident in Middleton for about 24 years. And I've been on this committee for about a year. And I work as a employment specialist, but I have a much longer background as an environmental consultant before that.
And let's go to Katie Nelson.
Hi, Christina. My name's Katie. I am an alder here in Middleton. When I'm not doing that stuff, I am a Pilates coach and I have my own studio here in Middleton, and I've been a resident here for about 15 years. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you. Let's go to Matt Kwok.
Hi, this is Matt. I've been on this committee just new this year. Background in mechanical engineering, and I've been living in Middleton for about 5 years.
And Ben Roden.
Hi there. Sorry, and I'm trying to get my technical difficulties figured out tonight, but hopefully I'm coming through okay. So I've been in the committee for a few months now. Been in Middleton for 14 years, and currently work for US Bank and corporate strategy.
Did I get all of the people that are committee members? I'm not sure who's calling in from the 847 number.
That's me. That's Ben.
Oh, that's you. Okay. All right. Then let's also quickly allow the other folks who are not committee members but who are on the line to introduce themselves, starting with Jacob Klein.
Sorry about that, Abby. Just had to unmute myself. Yep, I'm Jacob Klein with JT Klein Company. We've done four projects. I've done 4 projects in Middleton. All of them have had an affordable housing component to them. We did the company I was at before I started my own. I did the Heritage Senior over on Allen. And then since starting my company, we did Meadow Ridge and Oak Ridge.
Yes, Claire.
Over by behind Fitzgerald's. And then we just finished last year Stagecoach, which is across from the Stam House on Century Avenue.
Thank you. And Danny Afable.
Yep, thanks, Abby. My name is Danny Afable. I'm the development manager at JT Klein. I came on when Oak Ridge, the senior building on Lisa Lane, was under construction, and was there for Stagecoach as well. So I've been working with Jacob for about 2.5 years now. yeah, and like Jacob said, we've done a lot of work for the workforce in Middleton here. So thanks for having us.
And then Kurt Paulson.
Hi, Christina. Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Paulson. I'm just a visitor watching, interested in the topic. I teach housing at UW, and I used to be on the committee. So,
All right, and Christina, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Christina. I've lived in Middleton for about 12 years now. I've been married for about just over 10 years, and I have a 7-year-old daughter and a 3-month-old son. And this is my first time on any kind of committee. So,
Cool. Welcome aboard. You're busy.
yes. And I'm a firm administrator for Yahara CPAs in downtown Middleton as well. So,
Great. Thank you.
thanks.
All right.
Moving on, Abby. So I think our first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from October 19th. We have a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is that you, Rob?
Yep.
I'll second. That's Darren.
Second from Darren. Any discussion on that? Any changes? All right.
I did have something I wanted to mention on that.
Yeah, Betsy.
It's at the end of the discussion about the comp plan. I don't remember Randy suggesting that rather than the encouragement for landlords to retain tenants, how about including language about city retaining residents? I was wondering if it was maybe a both and, or if in fact he did suggest replacing it. Anybody else remember?
I think that is accurate. I think that's what he did say.
That what's written is accurate?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
I
saying?
do. Yeah.
Right.
I can always go back and check the video too and see, Betsy.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion carries. So we are moving on. And Jacob and Danny, I guess it's off to you, the concept review for the revised tax incremental district number 5. And I don't know if you were going to kick that off, Abby, before we let them speak.
Yes, I just put together a couple slides to try to make this a little bit easier to understand. And we can always turn it over to Jacob and Danny too if they want to fill in more details about the project. And we can stop share and let them share their screen if there's anything that they want to show. But just real quickly, to orient you, this proposed development is within Tribeca. So as you head out north, Parmenter Street, past Century Avenue, past the car dealerships, there are a few buildings already developed within the Tribeca development. These were built by T-Wall. Jacob has an option to acquire this parcel for workforce housing project. And just to the north, a project that used to be called Graber View Senior Housing, but now is going to be called Cardinal View Senior Housing, is under construction here. And then Springs Window Fashions is right across the street. So Jacob is calling his development 3810. And he's proposing 2 separate buildings. One is a 54 unit and one is a 76 unit. And Jacob had already gotten zoning approval previously for a 120 unit development that he was proposing. And he'd also already gotten concept approval from the city council for TIF assistance. So this current proposal, I fully expect that it'll go very smoothly because it's very much in line with what the council had already approved. And what he's proposing here is it's a 54 unit building, and you can see the rent levels. So we've got some 30s, some 50% affordable units, and then some market rate units. These are the 1 bedrooms, and there are also 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. And we can come back to this and look at the number of the unit mix, and the rents too, if you're interested in digging into the details of that. And then the second building is a 76 unit that has most units affordable at 50% of area median income. And then he's got some 60%, 70, and 80% units. How this compares, I wanted to show you. So they have worked out a few different concepts and have not yet been able to secure tax credits for the project. So the city council in late 2019 had approved a concept for TIF. And then again, in early January of 2020, they had approved a concept for TIF. So, we were looking at 115 affordable units in one, 125 affordable units, and now we're at 121. Overall, the total number of units has stayed pretty consistent. It's right now it's 5 units more than what was previously approved. And then the TIF incentive under each of these scenarios is developer financed. And you can see it was at 3.2 million and then 3.8 million. It's going down to 2.8 million now. And that's, largely due to the projected value going down. And that's also because of the affordability levels that impacts the valuation of the project. So we're staying with the value inflation rate. So the annual inflation that is applied to the initial assessed valuation, we're staying with 2.5%. And then the increment split, so the percentage of the increment that is applied to the development project is still the same, 80%, with 20% going to the general benefit of the TIF district. Our city finance director has reviewed the pro forma, and he has found that the cash on cash return, the developer fee, and the debt coverage ratio is appropriate under the current configuration of the project, and he's recommending approval. And the only other big change from what was previously approved is that we're splitting this into 2 separate, because it's 2 separate buildings, it'll be like kind of a 2-phase TIF agreement, and they will have to be able to stand alone. So if the 54 unit project moves forward, but the 76 unit doesn't, each agreement needs to be able to stand on its own. And this is going to the finance committee tomorrow night for a recommendation for concept approval. And that's all I had, but I'm happy to turn it over to Jacob and Danny to add any information or correct anything if I had anything wrong.
No, that was a great summary, Abby. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, just to kind of add on to that. So some of these changes from last year to this year, and if you hear noise in the background, sorry, we just got a new puppy, so she's right there. So if I'm looking away, it's not because I'm.
Oh, dang.
But we submitted for tax credits last year and we did not get awarded them. And then they just changed the QAP where there's some minor tweaks, and some of them, the tweaks added some more emphasis on the 3 bedrooms in school districts. And as you all know, Middleton has a great school district, and we added some more 3 bedrooms to receive those points. So the general concept is still the same, as Abby pointed out, 2 buildings kind of in 2 L shapes, and we added a 4th story onto the one closest to the Parmenter side, where that kind of is a change from, I believe, this time last year. But other than that, that's the breakdown on all the affordability and everything like that. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have from before, or Christina, if you're new.
So Danny, this is like, yeah, I'm just curious if you're planning to phase this then? Is that the intent for splitting it?
Yes, correct. As of right now, we think the best opportunity we have to get tax credits would be to apply in the 9% round and the 4% round. Previously, they had the 9% in December and the 4% in January, so we had a little bit of lag, but right now they're both due on December 11th. So we think our best opportunity to get both phases moving concurrently is to kind of split into a 9 and 4, and that would allow us to kind of get awarded the tax credits at the same time. We'd probably have a little bit of lag in construction, just to have each contractor kind of not stealing one building, stealing from the other. So you'd pretty much start them roughly 3 months apart. So then when they start finishing the framing, they'll start doing the framing on the next one, and kind of like that. We think that's going to be the most efficient way to do this project.
Okay, thanks.
Rob Bergenthal has his hand raised.
Abby, I just had a question. When we looked at the Trata and the kind of the application of the TIF proceeds, they had up about 3 million or 2.9, and the majority of it was for affordability, not for construction. Is that the same that's going to happen with this project, or what's the allocation of the TIF amount?
Okay, I'll answer your question, but before I do, Mike, I accidentally think I just muted you, Mike Slavish. I was trying to mute myself because my kids were being loud downstairs, but then the screen moved and I think I muted you. Sorry about that.
It's fine. Yeah,
I'm not trying to mute the chair here. The staff
okay.
So the way that our TIF policy reads, one TIF eligible opportunity is for affordable housing. So it's essentially whatever the gap is that allows the project to be successful. And so we don't have things like underground parking, those really aren't included in our TIF policy anymore for greenfield residential projects. And so in this case, the only real TIF eligible expense that I'm aware of that JT Klein had, aside from maybe a small solar array, is the affordable housing component. So it's the same as it was previously. The TIF incentive would be exclusively for affordable housing.
Well, I'm happy to see the additional affordable units at the lower income level. So I appreciate that.
Other questions that others on the committee might have for Jacob or Danny? All right. Not hearing any. Danny, Jacob, any further words, comments you'd like to make to the committee?
Nothing major. I mean, we just always appreciate the support that you guys have given us on our past projects, and even for our last Tribeca one, we always appreciate you guys kind of recommending our projects and discussing everything you do for the city on the workforce scale. It goes hand in hand with what we do, and without your guys' support, it is a harder battle for us. So we just appreciate and thank you for taking the time.
Katie Nelson has her hand raised.
I don't know if this is an appropriate question, but I'm just wondering if developers ever invite the Workforce Housing Committee for tours.
I think the Workforce Housing Committees have been invited to all our grand openings, but if you ever want to see any of our buildings, I'd be happy to either arrange it with myself or our property managers. But yeah, we're more than happy. We love showing off our properties. We think they turn out great anytime. But yeah, we usually invite them to the grand opening as a committee. But if anyone in the committee wants to see them or hasn't seen them, or if you joined, that'd be something we can absolutely arrange.
Great, thank you.
So Abby, are we looking for some official action from this committee?
I think if you felt comfortable, you could make a recommendation to the finance committee, and then we would just update them tomorrow evening that Workforce Housing had recommended approval.
So do we have, somebody wants to make a recommendation for approval?
Yeah, this is Katie. I would recommend that we approve this and refer it to the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Katie.
I'd second that.
Second, Betsy. All right. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks, guys. Good luck with your tax credit applications.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated.
All right. Moving on. Abby, update on workforce housing developments.
Yep, so we have two that are under construction currently. One is the Addy, which Mike can tell you much more about than I can. But I will just let you know that there is a group that has been formed recently called the Economic Stability Council, and it is made up of local employers, funders, and other folks. And the purpose of the Economic Stability Council is to support workforce housing in Dane County. And they had a goal to raise $10 million. They have exceeded that goal. I think that they have raised over $11 million now. And they've selected their very first project to support, and it is the Addy development. So there was a big announcement last week. United Way had a press conference, and the mayor of Madison, as well as our mayor, both spoke. And if you didn't get a chance to see that news conference, and it was also a Q&A, it was like a 30-minute long presentation. I can send you a link to it. So that was good news. And Mike tells me that WHPC is planning to move forward probably as soon as tomorrow on closing on the deal, and then construction would begin very shortly after, maybe as early as next week.
That is true, Abby. So we are closing with the developer, the former developer, Anthony Gray, as I think many of you knew, as well as a construction continuation agreement with Iconica to get them going again. And then our primary lender, the loan that we're receiving from the Dane Workforce Housing Fund that Abby mentioned, that loan will probably close by the end of the week, but that won't hold up construction. So plan to close tomorrow, and hopefully you'll start seeing activity again out there with Iconica remobilizing here in the next few days. The plan is to go ahead and complete construction and hopefully deliver those units starting in first part of June of next year. And Christina, I know you're new to this committee. Just as a reminder, in terms of kind of the affordable units that will be provided here, the project is 39 units. All of those units will be at 80% AMI or less. And in addition to that, 20% of the total units will be at 50% AMI. That's what WHBC committed to in order to secure the pilot payment from the city of Middleton, as well as the secondary loan from the Dane Workforce Housing Fund.
Thank you very much.
And then the only other development that's currently under construction is the Trotta, and they have an early start permit, and that's the one that's located on Parmenter Street at the old Colonial Motel site. It's 125 units, and they are still working on getting their full building permit. They also have an item on the council agenda tomorrow evening, in case you follow the council agenda and you're wondering why Trotta is coming back. It's because of the delay in their construction timeframe. They have requested an amendment to the TIF agreement that we have with them to reflect the new timeline. So it's not something that we're requiring, and oftentimes developments don't meet the initial timeline that's included in the TIP agreement, but they are requesting it because their underwriters want to see that. So we are working just to revise the dates, and that's all that's included on the agreement that's on the council agenda for tomorrow night. And then we don't have any other prospective workforce housing developments at this point in time, at least that our staff is aware of. We've heard about some prospective market rate housing developments around the city, and I know there are a lot of sites that are of interest right now to developers, but we don't have anything else at this time to provide an update on. Anything else?
Yeah, any other questions, comments from anybody on the committee? All right, so a short meeting. Nice work, Abby.
One quick question from me, if you don't mind. Just curious,
Yes.
how often do we update the city or they update the market averages or benchmarks that we apply the percentages against?
That's a great question. We do not update those. Those are actually determined by WHEDA, the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Agency, and they have a link on their website. It's called like the standard multifamily something formula, and I can send that out to the whole committee because it might be interesting to you all. They release it on a county basis, by income level, and the incomes they release based on the size of the household as well. So it's pretty comprehensive. It covers the whole state, and it's updated annually, and we rely on their figures for that. So I'll send that out to you along with the link to the United Way press conference video also.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, comments from anyone on the committee, or Kurt, not on the committee?
I'd like a copy of those emails as well, those links that you were just talking about, Abby.
Sure, yeah, I'll definitely send them to you. Thank you.
All right, Abby, if there's nothing else, I guess a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second. This is
Thanks,
Katie.
Katie. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Motion carries. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thanks for the short one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.